Oh my God, we're back again. We're here.
We're here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to our intro episode for season 1X, where we dive into the next installment, ReChain of Memories. It's me, Vic, and I'm joined ever so lovely by my co-pilot, Brittany. What's up, baby?
Hola. What's going on, y'all?
How we doing today? How we doing tonight? How we doing?
We're doing great, getting ready for
Yeah.
the holidays, gearing up.
Yeah, dude. That it is the holiday season and time is a ticking.
Ready for Santa.
Oh my God, aren't we all? So before we get too far into what we got coming up for this season for ReChain of Memories, we just wanted to touch upon once again, can't say it enough how much fun last season was. It was so much fun to record with one of my oldest, bestest friends, embarking on a project like this and having listeners like you come back. We really, really appreciate it. This is some hard work.
Yes, and it's all thanks to Victoria. Let's give her flowers because she works mega hard to bring this to you guys. I just sit here and talk, but she works so hard. So let's give a little clap, clap, clap to Victoria.
Tap, 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 tap.
The tap,
Oh my God, I love you so much. That is so sweet.
But for real.
I couldn't do this without you. Don't. Your talking is essentially what helps floats the ship, if you will.
Yes.
Your personality, you shine, you sparkle, you're funny as hell. I couldn't do this with anybody else. So let's give her flowers for being a fucking sweetheart. Tap, 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 tap.
We don't have nails, guys. We
don't. Our little finger pads are trying as best as they can. But yeah, before we super dive into it, Brittany, what have you been up to since we wrapped our season on Kingdom Hearts 1?
So besides, the huge, I'm a mommy.
Mamacita?
We have added a new member to the ship over here.
Yes, baby.
And baby Jay. And he's doing great. Yeah, we're doing great over here. But we just had to, throw that in there. Honorary member.
We have a new honorary member of our crew. Guys, make room in the Gummy Garage. We got a new crew member on board.
Yes.
So happy for
Thank
you, honey. So proud and so happy for you guys.
Thank you. And Victoria, what about you?
Life's been great since the finale. Had a few barbecues over the summer, some friend reunions, some family reunions. Alex and I were actually in a wedding in August. We were both a bridesmaid and a groomsman, so we got to walk down together, which is pretty sweet. It was for a set of friends who actually met at one of our barbecues at our first apartment. So that was a really nice, full circle moment, tie in together. So the summer was just full of weddings.
It's nice that you guys got to walk down together because it's so awkward when it's just one of you walking in the wedding and they're walking with a total other person or the opposite.
Dude,
and they just have to watch you in the party and take pictures and just we've been there before.
It's so weird. Have you guys have walked down with separate partners?
Well, I was in my friend's wedding and Devin was just my date. So I had to go there early.
Right.
I got on the party bus, did all that.
We've done that for sure. Yeah, he's got to find his own way to get there while you're partying on a party bus. Yeah. No, I thought you meant the both of you were in a wedding party, but you didn't walk down together. That would be... Oh, that would suck so much. I would hate that.
That would suck so much.
Shout out Martha and Hunter. Thanks for allowing us to walk down together. But that was the crux of the summer. But as you said, we're gearing up for the holidays. I've actually got a quick little shout out because I just got back from London last week and I ran into a content creator friend, D.
I saw it.
He has a couple of different handles depending on the platform, but essentially if you look up D3 Gaming of some sort, you'll find he does some really insane like fan edits
I've
of
seen.
Kingdom Hearts like battle footage that he records. He fights it himself, he records it himself,
Wow.
and he cuts it up himself. He is a gem. He was so much fun to hang out with. Big shout out D.
Is he an English bloke?
He is a bloke. He is an English bloke. It was pretty sick. We traded accents for a second. Like, he hit me with a, I literally can't even. That was his go-to phrase.
I would die.
I was fried, dude. It was so
And
funny.
you don't even have like that bad of a New York accent. Like you've definitely acclimated to the Philadelphia water accent, home
oh my God.
accent.
I
but
definitely actively tell my brain not to say water if I can help it, but I've definitely my O's can get a little long sometimes. I have to admit, I've been here for a few years now.
That's so funny.
But
bloke, yes.
At one point I was like, I kind of want to try my English accent, but I don't want to sound like I'm being mean. And he said, go for it. And as soon as he gave me the platform, like he came with a friend, as soon as the two of them gave me a platform, I completely froze and I don't remember what my phrase was. Something about going to the loo or something.
Oh my gosh. You should sing. You should have sung that song. That's what I would have sung. Will you be my American girl? American.
Oh my God.
Take me to
Dude, that would have been perfect. Missed opportunity. Oh my God.
That's so
You know, when you think about everything you wanted to say after the fact, that's exactly.
I feel like that's a good English accent, is that song.
That would have been perfect. Oh, and then, yeah. Oh, that would have been perfect.
That's awesome, though. I'm so glad you got to meet up with him. That was awesome.
Yeah. And he says hi, by the way. Actually, I didn't get to tell you this offline, but he did say hi to you.
Hello.
And so, yeah, big shout outs there. So a lot of big things happened in between. I would say one of the biggest things that happened in between is that I learned how to stream playing on Twitch, playing our next portion of the season, Chain of Memories. We will get to that in a moment. We still want to like revel a little bit in everything that happened in one between the actual game itself and for our production. And so without further ado, we have a few things that we wanted to sort of bring back from season 1. One of them is actually a few comments from a few listeners out there. We've had some YouTube comments and some Spotify comments pop up throughout all of the first part of the season that would help dispel certain theories or certain questions that we had. We said a lot in the podcast of like, you know, whether we want to or not, someone out there is going to let us know if we're right or wrong. And some of you did. Some of you were able to let us know what was going on. So what we wanted to do was to shout it out. There's been going through them a little bit in a grazing way. A lot of it is some Easter eggs, some things that, some lore that we weren't made privy to yet. And so I thought it would be fun, Brittany, if you and I could just take turns going through each episode of some of the comments that we got. Yeah?
For sure. I mean, we asked for it.
We did.
We asked for this.
We also knew we would get it whether we asked for it or not, but we are so happy to get it.
But we welcome
it. We encourage it. Please, please, please.
Honestly.
So, Brittany, I think you should start us off just because, especially from this first comment that I'm already seeing.
Sure. So in our 1.2 episode, we had, did we talk about James Woods? We talked about James Woods.
We did talk about James Woods, yes.
Right? And how it was amazing that he was doing the whole voiceover.
Yes.
So we had a comment on YouTube from @DevinStanley7711. And is this exactly what he said?
This is exactly what he said.
Oh, okay, cool. So this is exactly the comment from DevinStanley7711. James Woods loved playing Hades in the film Hercules so much that he told Disney that if Hades in any capacity had a voice role, that he'd return for it and would even cut his salary to make sure he can continue playing the character. That's dope.
So he opened his own schedule up for this role. Like maybe he doesn't have so much going on, but he will make anything go on for this character because politics aside, there's no other voice that would fit Hades.
That's true.
But yes, absolutely.
That's awesome. Another comment from the same at Devin Stanley 7711. If you find claw mark evidence and then speak with Cheshire Cat, he'll give you the blizzard spell early instead of after the fight with Trickmaster, making the fight easier. Look at that.
Would have loved. Would have loved to have known that. Are you kidding me?
Look at that. If you actually do all the stuff, you get the stuff that you need.
What a coincidence.
Wow.
I'm just mad because I did get all the stuff, but I waited to talk to Cheshire Cat. Like, I didn't talk to him early. Nomura, why would I know to do that? Nomura.
Why would I know? It's true. It's true.
You know?
Another comment was, if you finish Wonderland before Deep Jungle and Olympus Coliseum, the cutscene finishing the world, you'll see Alice being brought to Hollow Bastion. However, if you beat Olympus Coliseum first, then you'll see Snow White be brought to Hollow Bastion instead.
I heard that was an Easter egg, and I guess because of the way that the map is like laid out, it's not like you only see Wonderland after Traverse Town. You see Wonderland and Olympus.
Right.
And then once you're done with Wonderland, then it goes to Deep. So it's like you kind of can choose which path you want to take. So that is kind of cool. I don't,
Definitely.
I don't know why they would do that, but it's cool either way.
Do you remember which way you went?
I definitely always did Wonderland and then Deep Jungle because I didn't know how to get through Olympus.
That's true. Yes. We have talked about this.
Because I couldn't defeat Cerberus for the longest time. So I never saw Snow White. I will say that. What about you?
I believe I did Wonderland first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it just makes sense.
Yeah. Because Olympus is just so much of just like fighting in one space.
Like you said, I wasn't able to get through Cerberus. And I was like, all right, gotta go.
So that's interesting, right? Yeah.
Okay, and then our last comment on our 1.2 episode was actually from Spotify. It's from our friend Hudson.
What up, Hudson?
And it says, you can't leave through the save point in Olympus, Victoria.
I was so up in arms. Like, when I tell you, when Hudson commented that on the episode, like, we had just released it. And so I was like, not like I'm saying no shot, but like I looked it up immediately and I was so fucking wrong. I was so wrong. You can't leave. And then also another thing that I saw to kind of coincide with this, I didn't really realize this too. With one, Brittany, did you notice that the save points are presented in two different ways? And depending on what it is, you can access the Gummi Ship or not.
Yes.
So when it's a platform of green and then it glows up, then you can go to the Gummi Ship.
I did know that.
I didn't know that. And then the one in Olympus is the circular one where you can only save. And I did not know that.
You can only save, yes.
It feels like such a silly Billy, but thank you, Hudson.
Victoria.
Guys, you can't leave through the save point in Olympus. Who told you that, guys?
Goodness.
Don't listen to everything you hear.
We were wrong, and that's okay. That's okay.
That's okay. We can admit our faults. Maybe I was just so flustered, or I just had false memories of just being a dumb 12-year-old. I just let that be true 20 years later.
Oh my God.
Brittany, thank you for walking us through what we've learned from 1.2.
Anytime.
So our next comment is from YouTube, from Devin Stanley 7711. For 1.3, he writes, as for the keyhole and why Heartless still appear, it said that each world basically has a heart of its own, and the Heartless are attracted to it. And locking the keyhole protects the world's heart and from being completely consumed by darkness. The other lore reason is that if there is still a strong enough dark force, then Heartless will still be able to enter the realm through other means. That's why when you defeat Ansem at the end, the game ends because for the time being, there are no more Heartless to fight.
Valid question that we got answered.
We had a valid question of like, I don't understand why every time we leave a damn world, we lock the keyhole, but when we go back for Trinities and treasures and stuff, they're still Heartless there. What is that? Devin helped us walk through that. And honestly, valid explanation. It works for me.
Works for me too.
Works for me. Thank you very much,
Devin.
All right. Oh, this one's a lot. So this is a one. Yeah, Devin commented a lot on this one.
It's funny. I have 2 Devins schooling me now.
There may or may not be another Devin in Brittany's life. Who knows?
In our 1.4 episode, our friend Devin says, with the genie comment, it's supposed to be that due to his magical properties that he does know about the keyholes and other worlds. Throughout Kingdom Hearts 1, many characters either outright say or imply they know something. Example, the Cheshire Cat, King Triton, many from Traverse Town. Even Jack Skellington accidentally figuring out how to create hearts similarly to how Ansem did it is slowly showing many of the characters becoming more self-aware of the ongoings and the meddlings.
Meddling.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I honestly never really got or gave like too much of a second thought about it until we went through it last season.
Right.
But that does make sense to me, especially with the folks in Traverse Town, because Traverse Town is a refuge world. Like anyone there is from other worlds. So these events are trickling in and making it, yeah, they are just becoming more self-aware because they have no choice now.
We also did mention this with King Triton and Genie. Like, we definitely caught on to that as well.
Yeah, we did.
So thank you, Devin, for
definitely
reaffirming that.
Thank you very much.
Our next comment from Devin is, so with the keyholes, the villains can't lock/unlock them, but the Heartless are attracted to them, and the keyholes lead to the heart of said world, eventually leading to the Heartless swarming the world and overtaking it in darkness. The more worlds consumed, the stronger the villains get, as well as the army at their control.
That was when you were like, what were they going to do with that damn keyhole? They don't even have a key. Like, we're going to throw some dynamite at it.
Oh, so this one's this one's personal.
That is your bubble bursted now.
This is an answer. Okay. Okay.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Great to know, actually. For real, though.
We are such open-minded hosts. We're not here to tell everyone that we know everything. We're doing this shit because we're trying to figure out certain things. So,
right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It makes sense. All right. The next one from Devin is Maleficent finds the villains of their respective worlds and basically promises them power, control, and revenge over their worlds if they put the work in to have the Heartless take over, as well as help her find the Princesses of Heart. Ansem, believing Kingdom Hearts is tied to the darkness, mistakenly has informed her that the princesses will eventually open Kingdom Hearts, which is the door to all worlds, allowing her to theoretically control everything in one go. So, in his currently weakened state, he tricks Maleficent into getting the other villains to do all the heavy lifting. Next, Devin says the line he states about 200 years was more of a throwaway line, though. As the time of writing, Genie was never mentioned in Kingdom Hearts X or Union Cross or having any involvement or knowledge canonically about the Keyblade War, as it was possibly several hundreds of, if not 1,000 years prior.
So it's just saying, so essentially the specificity of saying must have been 200 years ago, that might not be like fully confirmed, and I bet we'll never get a full answer on that.
Of course not.
The idea is that he is an all-knowing genie.
Right.
He's been around for a minute. Who knows if it was more than 200 years? And yeah. All right. So it may not be canon, but he definitely knows something. So, okay.
He's a magical being, so I believe it.
Understood. All
right. And then our friend Hudson on Spotify says, I especially love that Genie literally has Homer's voice from The Simpsons. Haha.
I didn't know that until he said that.
Had no clue. I don't watch many Simpsons.
But you know Homer's voice.
Yeah, I would think so.
So the actor's name is Dan Castellaneta. Castellaneta, dude, he is also Hey Arnold's grandpa. So that's really where I hear the voice the most. So if you watch the cutscene again of like when Aladdin's freeing him and he's like, ah! Like it's so grandpa. like listen to the audio of him like screaming as he's like being let free, and then listen to what I just said, and it's not going to be far off.
Maybe I'll hear it.
Thank you so much for that fun IMDb moment. So we got some comments from Devin on YouTube for our 1.5 episode where we're in Monstro. And he writes, the flashback scene of them as kids is present in the original PS2 version of the game. I believe I had asked, I don't remember that being in PlayStation. I thought maybe that was a final mix thing. So stop letting me like talk like I know things. I'm going to, at this point forward, just take everything I say with a grain of a question mark because I'm just trying my best here. I wasn't sure.
Hey, I got stuff wrong too, okay?
We got some stuff wrong, but that's what we're here to learn on
That's
it.
why we're here.
And that's like a nice low stakes. Like
That's okay.
I didn't put my house on that, comment. Like we're okay. He also writes, if you get to the first checkpoint of Monstro, leave, and then return after Riku has been possessed by Ansem, Riku will still appear in Monstro, but be more silent and only speak once saying, don't you know your best friend? To which Sora will reply, liar, you're not Riku. So if I am understanding what he's saying is that if we were to go into Monstro and then leave and continue on the worlds, Riku doesn't get possessed by Ansem until like halfway through Hollow Bastion. So is the idea that halfway through Hollow Bastion, we leave Hollow Bastion, go back to Monstro, and at that point, Riku is like this different version, and that's where Sora calls out like, you're not Riku. I believe if I'm looking at his comment, that's what it's sounding like to me. That is a really interesting like thing. And I'm not saying that Devin was the one that did that, but whoever did that, that's like such a wild way to like go through that story.
That is.
If you're gonna skip Monstro, just skip it. You know how we feel about Monstro. Everyone knows how we feel about Monstro on this podcast. If you're gonna skip it, just skip it. What? I do not know.
Well, I don't know either, but thank you. Thank you, Devin.
Thank you, Devin.
All right. In our 1.6 episode, our friend Hudson from Spotify says, I definitely didn't read all the reports, but I'm pretty certain the material he is referring to are the gummy blocks. Smiley face.
I think I'm remembering this. You were reading the Ansem report and he talks about like Ansem says something like, I found this like sticky substance, and we were like, what? Sticky substance? Like, what could that be? Or maybe I should just look it up, Victoria. Stop fucking guessing things. What is wrong with you? I think I actually have it on our Canva now. We'll get to that in a little bit. He says, it is Ansem Report 7. He says, I am studying material from the meteors that rained down that fateful night. What a find! The material is foreign to our world. It is elastic to the touch. And when two pieces are combined, they bond easily. None of the records even mention such a substance. So that is what our dear friend Hudson is talking about. He is referring to gummy blocks. Gummy blocks are elastic. Moving on, Hudson as well from Spotify says from our 1.7 episode, from what I remember, Hook refers to the ship as a vessel. Riku taking a shortcut through a dark corridor puts him and Kairi at risk as it exposes them to the darkness. Smiley face. I do remember this comment, and this was definitely me, where I was really harpered on Maleficent being like, huh? You didn't use a vessel? And I was like, Kingdom Hearts, they always use funny words to mean funny things. Like, what could she mean by vessel? And that's what she meant, is just like...
Is the ship.
Yeah, just a ship. Going through the dark corridors, the dark realms, would put you at risk. And... yeah, we'll talk about that later on. We'll get into that later on.
Good to know.
But now, knowing that, thank you very much, Hudson.
For our 1.9 episode, Devin from YouTube says, as for why the Final Fantasy gang never traveled back to Hollow Bastion before, they always technically could, but it was always too dangerous. Maleficent and the other villains were commonly present there and was swarming the Heartless in general. They didn't really have the manpower necessary to reclaim it without Sora. Makes sense.
And that makes so much sense.
For sure.
We were definitely talking shit. We're like, why are you guys back now? What's up?
I think we were saying, why didn't they go back? Like, if they had the Gummi Ship.
Just like at all.
Yeah.
But I think, Devin pointing out the dangers, I think that's a fair point to bring up.
Thank you, Devin. So the next comment from Devin on YouTube was, so with the Hades Cup, it is edited really weird since it's implied that Cerberus attacks him at first, but then he says, hey kid, what are you doing? And hey guys. But there's two main interpretations, that either the Final Fantasy characters jump him, which I think is hilarious, or that the audience from the Olympic Games off screen beat him up.
So my thoughts with this is like, I guess, I mean, I think the whole point of that now, like in hindsight of like the whole Hades Cup, like you remember this, like right when he's like, he gets defeated and then the door slam, like the gate slam on him and he's getting beaten up in the dark. Like, do you remember this at all?
Who are we talking about, Sora or Hercules?
Hades.
Hades? No, I don't remember this at all.
So at the end of the Hades Cup, when you defeat Hades, he gets like all up in arms and is like annoyed that this happened. And then he turns around and then all of a sudden you hear sounds of him get taken into the Colosseum and he gets beaten up in the dark. I definitely made a comment of like, what is this? Like, who is beating him up and stuff? And I think what I've come to find just in hindsight is just like, it could be any one of them. And Victoria, we don't need an answer for that. That's okay.
It's rhetorical.
So Devin is just telling us that there's many interpretations and that's fine too. So thank you for that, Devin.
Thank you, Devin.
Okay. Those were all our comments as always. And as forever, we please encourage anyone to reach out through comments.
Yes, totally. Like we joke, we kid, but seriously.
Exactly. We want to hear from everyone. It only helps us put out better things. It only gives us more things for us to discuss with each other. So we will always encourage, we will always ask, we will always celebrate
for sure.
Any comments that we get. And that can be through YouTube, that can be on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, email, what have you. So thank you for all that, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes. Devin and Hudson, appreciate you guys.
Sticking with our Kingdom Hearts 1 recap, we might have missed a thing or two.
Just one.
Just one, right?
Don't say two, it's just one.
And if we missed more, we'll let you know. All right? As of right
or
now.
Or not.
We realize... Who needs to keep the storyline updated? Like, come on. Grow up. We may have forgotten. No, we did. We forgot to mention in our storyline update, just again, to keep things accurate and part of the timeline, we forgot to mention the battle with the unknown at Hollow Bastion. And I know I definitely forgot because it was a secret boss battle that I did not fight myself. I watched the hell out of that on YouTube and had a great time. So, forgot to mention the battle with the unknown at Hollow Bastion in our storyline update because that is a very big, glaring, foreshadowing event.
Yes.
And something that should be well noted that in its final mix revamp, we did get to meet him, right?
Yes.
Or her.
For sure. Or her.
Or them. We don't know. I mean, you and I know.
It's true.
But we are trying to make this like friendly to the beginners.
But we did talk about it.
We did. Well, all we know is that this unknown is important.
Yes.
And it's important that we met them in Hollow Bastion. We didn't forget anything else. We're perfect. Right. Other than that, that was that. Yeah, we're fine.
See, just one thing, not two. Gosh.
So in the last leg of our revisiting KH1 tour, Brittany and I thought it would be good to sort of give a little recap as a sort of way, yes, to wrap up all the events from 1, but to shepherd us into our next installment.
So this is Sora's summary. Sora gears up for an exploration off their island with his friends, Kairi and Riku. But a premonition, a stranger, and a storm stop their plans. Kairi is vanished without a trace, Riku has been swallowed up by a swirling dark void, and Sora is granted a Keyblade and a duty to vanquish the ever-forming enemies with it, the Heartless. The Heartless destroy their world and send Sora somewhere out and away. Meanwhile, King Mickey of Disney Castle has gone missing to investigate the disappearance of worlds, leaving the mage and the guard of his court, Donald and Goofy, to find the person with the key, as they are the key to their survival. Their first stop is Traverse Town, where they coincidentally, the one with the key, Sora, has ended up as the result of his home disappearing. They meet their first set of allies, Leon, Yuffie, Aerith, and Sid, who get them up and on their way. They travel to an array of worlds, befriend lifelong friends, and defeat evil foes. Their adventures lead them to Hollow Bastion, Leon, Yuffie, Aerith, and Sid's home world that has been destroyed by Maleficent, the very person who led it, Ansem. Maleficent has kidnapped the 7 princesses, including Kyrie, to use their hearts to open the heart of Hollow Bastion and destroy everything. It's here that we learn that Kyrie's heart is inside of Sora's, and it's revealed that Ansem is the stranger that visited Destiny Islands and has possessed Riku to do his bidding. This installment ends with Riku snapping out of it, Kyrie waiting for her friends to come home, and Sora taking on Ansem and closing the door to darkness with the help of his friends and King Mickey. We leave them on the other side as they look to find each other to come back home to Kyrie.
That was 40 hours. That was 40 hours of my life.
Made our job seem easy. That was great, though. That summed it up perfectly.
That was it. Thank you very much. So normally we would have just done a summary of Sora's story, but for ReChain of Memories, to give a little sneak peek, we are going to see another side or another protagonist, a secondary protagonist, which is going to be Riku. So with this, Riku gets in his portion of the game, which again we'll get into, he gets the D report, which is essentially Jiminy's Chronicles, except he doesn't have Jiminy with him. So anyway,
just him and the D.
This is just, I think the D is darkness. I think if we're going to get Kingdom Hearts about it, it's definitely darkness. Totally. Of course it is. Of course that's what you meant. And of course I saw you there. I saw you there back in the day. Riku's D report. Bored with his secluded island life, Riku dreamt of seeing other worlds. He got his wish when darkness devoured Destiny Islands and he was thrust into the outside world. While looking for his lost friend Kyrie, he met Maleficent and accepted her help. But Maleficent had her eyes on Riku's strength and was working to make him her underdog. She gave Riku the power of darkness, but as he used it, it gained power over him. This is why Riku fought his best friend Sora and how his heart fell to Ansem's pursuer of darkness.
Dun dun.
But Riku's heart was freed by Sora's light. Riku, Sora, and the king worked together to close the door to darkness. But Riku is trapped inside in the realm of darkness. Will he see the realm of light again?
Farewell.
So, with that said, that is how we are going to bid one adieu.
We won't forget about you.
Send kisses her way. Love her, farewell. I'm sure there's going to be stuff from one that we will be talking about later on. But for now, we're going to bid her adieu. But we look forward to the next installment, which is ReChain of Memories / the next section of this podcast. And so,
yay.
We wanted to, before diving super deep into this next season, we just wanted to give a few pointers of things to expect from this section of the season. And again, we call it the section of the season because this is a spinoff of one, so it doesn't count as its own separate season.
Truth.
It's not a main installment, even though I have so many thoughts about that because the way that this shit played out all the way, I don't know how it wasn't considered a main installment, but alas, I am not Nomura. I am not Square Enix. We can't make up the rules, right? So, a few things to expect from this section of the season is that we are going to try a couple new things. Because what is life without a little experimentation? We're still in season 1. We still want to see if certain things vibe with us as well as vibe with you guys. Maybe things we try this season don't float some boats.
Yes.
We'd love to hear it. We're finding this out at the same time as you guys. A lot of it is circumstantial. A lot of it is just we wanted to try these things now while we still had a chance to establish ourselves, right? So one of the things that we're going to try new this season is that we're going to break episodes into 3 separate parts. So it's going to be part 1 will be the blueprints, which will be either Brittany and I together, depending if we're leading the episode together, or Brittany solo, me solo, reading out in its entirety the beats of this episode, or the floors and the basements that we'll be getting into. The second part will be the commentary, which is much like this, where Brittany and I talk shit and yap and giggle and talk about what we just experienced in this world. And then lastly, as always, will be our storyline update. And that we will do right at the tail end of commentary, just as a way to sort of, just like last season, wrap things up and keep ourselves aligned on what we just experienced, what we have to look forward to.
Keep going. Just keep going.
Keeping going. We've reworded our intro a little bit, as you guys will hear, stating how to avoid spoilers. I think, Brittany, and you can help me with this too, because we both caught ourselves doing it a lot the first season, where in general, yes, I still feel that this is a podcast that is a little more for just the familiar. Anyone coming into this brand spanking new. First of all, if for some reason Brittany and I are your first experience in this game, you're doing yourself a grave disservice. And that is not talking shit on us. This game is meant to be played. It should totally be played. However, if it's been years since you've played, if you've got a whole life ahead of you right now, but you don't have hours and hours and hours to play it, but you want to just re-experiencing it, that's what we want to be here for. We also just want to cover all bases. We want to let anybody in here. So we have a new intro stating how to avoid spoilers. And essentially,
truth.
If you aren't super familiar or you're a beginner, we would recommend only listen to the blueprints and then jump to the storyline update in case you don't want to allude to spoilers. Brittany, thoughts?
But this is a welcome free space for everybody. So everybody's welcome to listen. But yeah, we just don't want to ruin anything for anybody, you know?
Absolutely. So this way, that's the last thing we would want to do is ruin this experience for anybody. We love this series. We respect this series. And we respect you guys for listening. So that way the blueprints will just serve as just the story. We will not be talking about theories and like ooh la la's or anything. We'll be saving that for the commentary section. So you're more than welcome to listen to that. But we will always, as stated in the intro that you guys will hear, we will have time codes for those sections so that you may freely jump back and forth or jump through whatever you want to do.
Sweet.
As well as this game, Disney worlds are not nearly as prevalent to the storyline, to the major plot points of the storyline, the same way that one and how other games will eventually be. So we're not including Disney worlds into the events of the world encountered because more or less it's the same stories as one.
Pretty much.
Instead of, Alice trying to steal the queen's heart, she's trying to steal the queen's memory, quote unquote. I think the Agrabah sequence is exactly the same. It is Aladdin trying to save Jasmine, and it's the same thing. So we just felt it wasn't prevalent. We're not going to add it.
Yes, there is, for sure. For sure. We won't forget about the Disney part.
However, we will 100,000 million% be reserving time to shout out any funny lines because, Brittany, you agree, there's some really fucking banger funny lines in this.
Yeah.
So we got to shout those out. We'll definitely, that's also the fun part of it. So we want to keep it as fun as we can. So we will definitely be doing that, likely in the commentary section, probably right before storyline update, just as a way to get some last licks and last laughs in before wrapping things up. Another new thing that we're trying is that we'll be releasing 2 episodes a week. We're going to see how this feels, especially for these spin-off stories, more or less without giving too much away. A lot of these spin-off stories, the worlds that they encounter don't have a ton of originality. It's almost more or less the same as its predecessor. And so we thought for this round, to just give that a whirl. If that bodes well with you guys, if it bodes well with us, something we'll consider, something we'll think about. Yay! If it bodes well for both parties, for me and Brittany and for y'all, we'll look into that. But that, again, we're just in experimenting times. We just want to see how that works. So
okay,
you will be getting a new episode in a couple of days. So that is a few of the things that I wanted to speak on of what to expect from this season.
Okay, so we will have less episodes, but they will be a little longer this time around. Because what we noticed was Sora and Riku's story is pretty much happening in at around the same time. and we didn't want to have to backtrack, and we thought it would be easier to compare the story side by side if it's actually happening at the same time. I think that's actually a big part of some of the confusion
Yes.
that happened to me, at least when I was watching the whole story. I had to go back and say, oh, wait, this happened during this time. So I think it'll help smooth out the story and what's happening during this time.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to some cutscenes, you will be like, wait, that already happened. So I think it'll be good to compare the story that way, at least for me.
I agree. I felt like, yeah, you brought that up. And as soon as you did, it became this really fun, like, detective puzzle piece of like
Yes.
matching up the timelines and watching like a certain floor and then a certain basement right after it. Oh, it made it
Yes.
so much more digestible. And this probably goes without saying, but we'll just say it. We're covering it this way because we are reciting its story. Our point of doing this is to keep track of the story. Not that the game will let you do anything else, but you should totally experience it by playing Sora first and then ReCoM, because there will be certain revelations, certain like gotcha moments, or certain wasn't expecting that moments that you wouldn't be able to experience if you were experiencing them side by side. However, if you're like us, you got through the experience part, now you just want to know what the fuck is going on. That's what we're here for. Right?
Yes, exactly. And we will be covering Sora first and then ReCoM after that, just to stay true a little bit to the game.
Just a little bit. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our best to sort of like splice them up in terms of how, what floor and what basement events happen. But for the most part, yeah, definitely. And there's two more quick things. Jiminy
Yeah.
recap of previous world. That's a mouthful. We're gonna switch that up a little bit. We're just calling it the Jiminy recap because that's really essentially what it is. Every time you leave a world, he's got something to say about it. And so we're, at the start of all our episodes at the top, we're gonna do a Jiminy recap / a D report, as we had mentioned, because Riku also gets a little bit of a recap. That will be the new recap title for this section of the season, and that will start episode 2. And then the last thing, one of the big ones, is that we have changed our storyline update from our shared Jamboard, whatever it's called on Apple, that you cannot zoom into without losing everything. We have moved that into a Canva storyline update, which I believe that one's called a whiteboard. We have that linked on all of our socials. We will be updating them at the release of every episode. So that is staying as constant and as current as the episodes are being cranked out. So please give that a look whenever you guys can. It's in all our socials. And those are all the new things to expect in this season. We can't wait to show this off to you guys and hear what you guys think about it.
The new.
So, Brittany, now that we're ready to get into Chain of Memories, we'll do a little housekeeping, give some information about the series, and then I think we're going to be off soon. Yeah.
Okie dokie. So the next game we will be covering is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories or plus Reverse Rebirth, which is basically Chain of Memories we found is Sora's part, and Reverse Rebirth is pretty much Riku's basement little part as well.
His basement parties.
Yes, his basement parties. This release date for the game was initially 2004 for the Game Boy Advance, 2008 for the PlayStation 2, 2013 for the 3, and it looks like 2017 for the 4, and that also comes with the 1.5 Remix edition, which is the one we covered.
We're covering we're definitely covering the 1.5.
We're covering the PS4 1.5 Remix edition. We are. So that is a mouthful.
That is.
Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and Reverse Rebirth 1.5 Remix.
Very on brand with the series, honestly. Like, it's like a Fall Out Boy title song. Like, it's just as lengthy as you can get it to be.
Yes, exactly. System type again, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. The gameplay length is 23 to 60.5 hours, which is like, either a little bit or double the time that it could possibly take.
You're either doing way too little or far too much.
And then Reverse Rebirth is apparently supposed to be 5 to 15 hours. Victoria.
I will jump in and say that as your XP queen, I clocked in 40 hours for Sora and 13 hours for Riku.
All right. And this is a spinoff, not a main installment. That could be argued.
Apparently.
But it is apparently a spinoff. The game type is a card-based action RPG. We will also be getting a little bit into that.
Yes.
Because it is part of the game. I know we're not a walkthrough podcast, but it is pretty essential.
It is.
To the game to mention the cards. So that will be covered.
We will only mention them as much as we need to.
Yes. How it came to be, Chain of Memories follows Sora, Riku, and his friends as they explore Castle Oblivion while battling Organization 13, a new group of antagonists, something we will also get into. You will just have to tune in.
Super lucky for you guys because you won't have to wait too much longer because our first official episode of this section of the season is also out right now. So as soon as you turn us off in this one, you can jump right into the next one.
Jump right into the ship.
We're back in the ship, baby. Full speed ahead.
Yes.
We are going. We are gone, baby. No.
Yes.
We have so much to get into with this behemoth.
For sure. More than we thought.
Game. So much. All right. Like before we really sign off, just really quickly. So the way that I am now, I've definitely grown into a very like neurotic type A person. I didn't know this until my therapist told me so. And I was like, what? Me? I'm not type A. I'm so cool. No, I'm not. I wasn't always like this. I wasn't super studious growing up. I wasn't like, a star athlete or a star student or anything like that. Like I was way more go with the flow. It's so much so that I played the first 2 worlds of 1, skipped this game entirely, and then went straight to 2. And the way that, and Brittany, I want to hear your take on it as well, now that you've also watched it. If 1 is like the foundation and the bricks of a home, Chain of Memories is the framing. It's the bone structure. To play 2 without playing Chain of Memories is like putting up wallpaper on fucking nothing. Like,
opened our eyes. Yeah.
I cannot believe like the way that I am now. No, if I was getting this series for the first time, no shot. I would have been playing it exactly how I'm playing it right now. I can't believe I stuffed myself with the story. Brittany, please tell me what you thought.
First of all, I thought that we have to give ourselves a little break because in 2004, my parents were not going to go out and buy me a Game Boy Advance just so that I could play
one game.
Kingdom Hearts,
so
Chain of Memories.
One game. Yeah, that's very true.
Not happening.
That is very true.
So we are millennials in 2004. We were 13.
Yeah.
We were not getting Game Boys for that.
No.
And then in 2008, when it came out for the PlayStation, we already had 2.
We did.
So
yeah, we did.
I'm giving myself a little bit of break there. I'm giving my teenage self a little slack because I was broke and couldn't afford a Game Boy to play it. But now that I know the story, I'm speechless. Yeah, speechless as to
it's bonkers. It's a bonkers story.
No wonder why some things, I didn't get the answers to. It's because they were right there. I just didn't play the game.
You are right. You bring up a really good point that once upon a time, Square Enix really loved to play this dirty little trick on all of its fans and was like, how about we release the next game on a whole different console?
Right.
Something honestly is like, yeah, I got to keep them at arm's length. I can't like devote all my love and stuff because the fact that they put us through that shit is like, is really, really rude. Like, please just stick with one console. Like, come on. This is so, and it's like, you are right. We can give our teenage selves some grace. It is just wild that I never knew this story until this summer.
No,
like, this is crazy. Girl, I cannot wait to get into it with you about it and show to all of our new friends here because that's all we got for you guys for this intro episode.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
We got the next batch of episodes coming up really quickly for you, but that's really it. Brittany, I love you so much.
Love you.
And without further ado, guys, our next episode is up. So this is Victoria.
And I'm Brittany.
And we are Gummi Ship Radio. Signing off. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Gummi Ship Radio.
You and your power, aka your friends, can follow the show on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
To see our storyline update, stay in the know, or just to say hey, you can follow our account on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Gummi Ship Radio, or email us at gummishipradio@gmail.com.
Please rate and review our podcasts. Your support will help us immeasurably.
Our intro is arranged and theme music created by Matt Whiteford.
This podcast is hosted and produced by Victoria Harrington and Brittany Morales.
We'll be thinking of you wherever you are, and see you next time.
See you, Gummi Ship Radio.